Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at the all-new 2024 Audi RS5 Coupe. Huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Take a look at their website. That link is down in the description. This RS5 is finished off in Mythos Black Metallic. MSRP is just over $94,000. And this is powered by the 2.9 liter twin turbo V6. It's paired to the 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission, pumping out 444 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the Quattro all-wheel drive system. This will do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, even though it weighs just shy of 4,000 pounds. Top speed is 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.3 gallons. You'll expect to see around 18 miles per gallon in the city, 25 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 108.9 inches. Its overall length is 186. It has a width of 73.5 and a height of 54 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this RS5, this particular model has almost $14,000 worth of added options. It even has the competition package, which alone is right around 10 grand. We'll go over that once we work our way to the side of this car. But up front, this retains that hexagonal design for the grille. Everything is blacked out too, which is nice to see, including the emblem, the Audi badge in the middle. This has a forward-facing camera, plenty of cutouts in that grille, including some parking sensors as well. And then there's even sensors for the adaptive cruise on both sides with some more of that trim. There's even carbon fiber and a small air inlet to provide even more aerodynamics. Now this model does have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. You'll notice that there is a fake trim piece on the outside of that housing, but it matches nicely with the trim piece down below. It would be cool to see that functional. And then there are 4 distinctive lines that meet the top of this grille very nicely. They go from the base of the hood, of course, all the way to that top trim piece just above the grille. There's also a small opening down in that lower section. Now, as we work our way to the side, this is where you're going to see a lot of that competition package, including these wheels. We have the upgraded red brake calipers as well. This model even has the competition coilover suspension, so it appears to look like it does have a little bit lower of a ride height, which is really cool to see. It also gives it an increased top speed of 180 miles an hour. So the top speed that I mentioned earlier is if you don't have this package. We have the RS driver package, nav package. We also have all the carbon fiber, a lot of goodies for this particular model. That carbon fiber also works its way to the mirror caps, where there's also the turn signal as well as the camera system underneath it. This has the moonroof, very crisp lines running down the side as well. You'll notice the distinctive line that goes from the headlight just above the door handle all the way to the back, where there's also an RS5 badge just in front of that side mirror, and some nice lines that are in the lower section there. Gives it a really cool design for this coupe. Large rear windows too, because this does have back seats, which makes it even more practical. Now in back, this has a very small body colored trunk mounted spoiler, blacked out badges of course. There's the backup camera, all of the sensors, even more carbon fiber for this lower diffuser that wraps around the dual exhaust on both sides. And now we can work our way to the cargo space. So you can use the button on the key fob, or you can use the one located to the left of the backup camera. It's not a power operated trunk, so it's very easy to open up. And being a coupe, this is very, very practical. There's a lot of space in the back. There's even a spare tire underneath the floor, tie-down hooks, so you can secure items. There's even some storage nets too. And you can fold down all 3 back seats and do that individually. So there's the left side, right side, and middle. There's also a hook as well. But with the back seats folded down, that gives you a lot more interior space, making this an incredibly practical daily driving sports car that gives you the back seats and all of that cargo space, which is great to see. But another look at this exterior gives it a really sinister look, especially with the combo with these wheels. I think it's a great look. Now, as we work our way to the inside, more of that package includes all the Alcantara, more carbon fiber as you can tell, Bang & Olufsen sound system. There's a trunk release, storage space. Side mirrors are also heated and power folding, of course. And then take a look at these RS seats. With leather and Alcantara, they are automatic. They're even massaging seats too. There's some gloss black running down the sides of them. A very beautiful bucket seat. Now, on the headrest here, you can use those controls to move the seat forwards and backwards. When you move it forward and then pull on this leather tab, you can push that backrest forwards to give you room to hop into the back. So at 5'10", I can work my way into one of the 2 seats back here. So this is a 4-seater. There's storage nets behind both front seats. You will have plenty of legroom. If you move the seat up just slightly, it will give you enough space. There's a 12 volt, even the temperature adjustment and climates, a little bit of storage in the middle. And then take a look at the attention to detail in the back. We have some of the red piping running down those seat belts, more Alcantara, the leather and Alcantara for the seats. Right in the middle with the armrest, a little bit of storage on the back side. And then you do have 2 cup holders. You can pop both of those out as needed. You can also fold down this middle seat by itself. Like I mentioned earlier, all 3 are individual. So if you need some added access to the back, you can definitely do that. And at 5'10", I'm ducking slightly. So my head is touching the headliner, but it's roomy enough to ride back here around town and make it doable for 2 people to be in the back. So that's very nice to see. There's also this right here, which will bring your seatbelt to the driver so it gets tucked away when it's not in use, which is pretty cool to see. But it's functional for full-size adults to be in the back. And then from there, we can put this seat into its normal position. And it's a low car, so it's very easy to enter. But take a look at the full Alcantara steering wheel with RS, brushed aluminum in the lower section. This does have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. On this right side, there's the heated steering wheel control, the RS button, Bluetooth and voice commands, and then volume and tuning. And then on the left side, all of these will control the virtual cockpit. So let's fire this up. With my foot on the brake, we can bring this to life. And looking at the digital cockpit, currently on the far right side, there's power and torque readings. The attack is front and center along with miles per hour and what gear you're in. And then on the left side, you can currently see the date and the time. Now, if I use the arrows on the left side of the steering wheel, I can scroll over to audio. There's also phone. You can pull up the navigation as well. And then when we go back to this setting, you can scroll down and look at a lot more vitals, just depending on what you would like to see. Now, if I go back to the navigation, let's say you're going somewhere, you want to see that in more of a full screen view. Simply just click on the view button, and when I do that, that comes up in full screen and it minimizes the other information to the left side and the right side. You can also go through everything else with this view icon too. So if you want to see everything in full screen, you have the option to do that. There's also a favorites button as well. And then if we go back over to the RS button, if I push on that once, you can actually change how the whole gauge cluster setup is. You have RS2 as well, and then we are back to normal. When you put it into RS2, the exhaust note also changes, as you heard earlier, which is awesome to see. Now, over on this left side, there's a little bit of storage space down below. There's also more carbon fiber with all the headlight adjustments. We even have the head-up display control. So currently it is showing a lap timer along with miles per hour. I can also adjust the height too and then shut it off as needed. So that is nice to see. And then working your way to the center infotainment system, on the home screen, you have a lot that you can swipe through to look at everything, including all of these apps. So you have vehicle, you have your phone, you can go into a lot of different settings here. If we go all the way back into vehicle, this is how you can go into your drive select. So you can go into comfort, auto, and dynamic for the suspension. You'll also notice too that you have RS1 and RS2. So you can configure those as needed. There's also the RS monitor. So you can swipe through all this, look at your G's, and then the TPMS for the tires. You have your air conditioning, your seats, you have some other settings that you can go into. And you also have the shortcuts on this left side. So you can quickly get into the navigation, pull up your phone, you can go into music, and then you also have some more audio adjustments. Climate adjustments are underneath that, more carbon fiber as well. And then right in the middle, we have all the adjustments for the fan speed and temperature. Now you can hover your finger on these to see which way you need to push the dial. So for the AC, I can go all the way up to max, and then if I go back and hover, it'll show me I have to go 2 down in order to shut that off. So it's nice to see that. Finished off in brushed aluminum. Temperature dials are on both sides. These are even heated front seats. We have all the defrosters as well. And then underneath that, there's a shortcut to the drive select. So what I showed earlier, traction control. This even has parallel parking, which is nice. Parking sensors, you can shut that upper screen off if you would like to. And then underneath that, a few auxiliaries, a little bit of space with 2 cup holders and this square box just behind that. More Alcantara is on the shifter. If I push that forwards, that is for the backup camera, where as I mentioned earlier, we have the 360 view. So you have no shortage of visibility in what you would like to see around this entire vehicle. Drive is all the way to the back, and then we have the manual settings, so you can shift using the shifter or the paddles themselves, and then park is located on the back side. Now there's a physical button for power and tuning for the audio, a little bit of storage, as well as right in front of the center armrest. Now you can actually push this forwards or backwards, depending on your comfort, and then when you open it up, there's the wireless charging pad and a little bit more storage. You can also lock this where you would like to, and when you go all the way up and down, that will actually close it. So again, that gives you a little bit more comfort, and then the glove box has plenty of space. Now up top, there's the touch sensitive dome lights, so simply just push on them themselves and they will turn on. And then we have the automatic controls for both the sunshade and the sunroof itself. And then a look at visibility from the driver's seat. Those pillars are very thin in the back. We have large glass for the backseat passengers, so you can easily see around this entire vehicle. As we set off now behind the wheel for this almost $100,000 Audi RS5, like I mentioned earlier, this particular model has right around $13,000, $14,000 worth of options. So technically you can get this much less if you don't want all of the competition package especially, and a few of the other goodies. But I can't argue that this is a very, very nice luxury focused coupe, but it also gives you some incredible power. So let's pop it into RS2 with it in the manual setting. Let's jump down a couple gears. Mild acceleration. It sounds good. It's not crazy loud, but with that Steptronic automatic transmission, it shifts incredibly quick too. This is pretty much a straight sleeper because you have all that performance and an incredibly well-handling sports car, because with that upgraded suspension too, it took that turn with ease. It is a very solid and planted feeling car. This is something you can take to the track, take to the mountains. This is a great daily driver that also gives you that added performance when you would like it. So for the cost, yes, it's expensive, but you're also getting an Audi, you're getting something that's going to be reliable. It has all of the creature comforts that you could possibly want, and it's very well refined. So there's not a lot of road noise, wind noise, anything like that. It's what you'd expect from an Audi. And as far as just driving it normal now, we'll put it back into the regular setting, where let's give it a minor acceleration just to hear. I mean, you can hear the exhaust slightly, but it doesn't have that deep tone that it did in RS2. And it's a super comfortable car to drive. I've been in the RS5 before, so this is not the first time that I'm driving one. The steering wheel feels so good as well with that Alcantara, so it gives you a good feel on both sides here. But other than that, it's a very, very nice vehicle. These sport bucket seats are incredibly comfortable, so they hold me well. And from second gear, here we go. As we come around this turn, not even anything that this car can't handle. The steering is so direct, so it feels so planted and direct in the steering. It's definitely a very fun, performance-oriented sports car. And for almost that $100,000 price tag, you are looking at some other competitors like the BMW M4, maybe some AMGs from Mercedes-Benz. So there's a few other options out there. I will say that the Audi is probably going to be the simplest to use. And what I mean by that is the technology. So we have the tech like the adaptive cruise, distance pacing, things like that, heated seats, massaging seats too, which I didn't show earlier. Just by pushing on this button, you can go into them and quickly set that up. But everything is super simple and laid out very well. So it's a vehicle that you don't have a million different settings that you have to go into in order to set everything up. You can just hop in it and you are ready to go. So it's a little bit more on that simple side, but it still gives you everything that you want. So if you're not into the ambient lighting and some other features and things like that, you really just hop in this and go. And I can't get over how comfortable this is to drive. It would be such a good daily driver. And we got a few pops in that exhaust. It's definitely a great option to go with if you're looking for a practical sports car. Maybe you want something that's not quite as flashy, especially being finished off in black. You just see an Audi badge on it, you wouldn't really know, unless you know what the RS badge is, that this is a well performance oriented vehicle to go with. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2024 Audi RS5 Coupe. Once again, huge shout out to Audi Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Check out their website. That link is down in the description. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.